Um, Good evening, it's night where I am, good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. This is my first YouTube video. I'm going to keep it brief because I am planning to do one or two more videos just to speak on what I have on my mind, what I've had on my mind for years now. And basically what I'm coming on YouTube to discuss is 4C hair. I know it's a topic that's been done to death. I know that a lot of people, a lot of women, black women and women with 4C hair are over it. We have all beaten the natural hair movement, natural hair renaissance. We've beaten it to the ground. We are totally over it. And we just don't want to hear another word about it. Excuse me. But what I'm realizing is that whether we want to hear about it or not, what's happening is that every morning we wake up, we still have this hair on our heads. It's still there, it's still growing, we still have to deal with it. And I was natural for 9 years. I did my big chop in 2005. Obviously I wasn't the first person ever to do a big chop. I remember finding this overwhelmingly beautiful and supportive community of natural hair sisters on naturality.com. This was going way back, early 2005 I found it. I'm not really sure how long it was going before I discovered it, but I was so happy to have found that. The natural hair movement was not a thing at that time. I found it by searching for answers, and I'll talk through my hair journey in some other video at some other time. But what has prompted me to decide to start this YouTube channel and have these and vocalize my thoughts, the issues that we have with our hair, that we seem to have with our hair and somehow never seem to sort out. I wanted to talk about this because obviously I sat back and watched as the national hair movement started off, grew, exploded, and it's still going on. However, in the last few months, I'll say in the last year or so, I've also noted from my comfy armchair that the movement has started to have something else happen. A lot of 4C women have been hoodwinked and bamboozled by watching the hair videos of women on YouTube who are giving all this advice about how to get the perfect curls, which products do what, exactly how to wash your hair and what to do and how to do it with which kind of conditioner and whatnot. And all these women, young girls are watching it and thinking, okay, I think I'm ready for my natural hair journey, and they're chopping off their hair, discovering they have 4C hair, and then then spending hours, days, weeks, months, even years on YouTube channels, spending hundreds of pounds, if not thousands of pounds on all sorts of products, and being extremely and endlessly frustrated with the fact that they can't get those curls. And even if they did, it would take hours, and it literally lasts for about 7 seconds maximum. And then coming to this sad realization that they can't get those curls and they can't keep those curls, and what's the point, because they actually do have 4C hair, and what are they going to do about it? They can't handle it because detangling is a nightmare. They don't have time to do anything else, or they would rather use their time to do other more important things, more interesting things, than having wash days and detangling sessions and standing in your underwear in the bathroom detangling while you shiver because you're getting cold but you haven't finished detangling yet, so you can't get back in the shower to wash out the conditioner. All of that business. They realize they can't do that anymore. There's no point in trying to chase the curls. They're just going to go back to relaxers. And I'm sitting there so frustrated thinking, is that the only option? Why is that the only option? You've done your 4C hair journey, you've cut your hair, you've seen how amazingly it can grow, how fast, how luxuriant it can grow, and yet suddenly you find out that it's you know, it tangles a lot, you need to detangle, you're buying so much stuff, you're using the denim brushes and the whatever else brushes, and it's still tangling and you don't have time, so you're just going to relax again. Is that your only option? Why is that your only option? Haven't you ladies heard of Locs before? Locs, L-O-C-S or L-O-C-K-S, or dreadlocks, term I don't like, but I don't, because I don't see anything dreadful about it, and why should I call it dreadlocks? It just makes no sense to me. I don't even think locks are an adequate term for it, because I don't see how they are locks. But anyway, the terminology is out there, so we just use what we have unless someone comes up with a more amazing and a more apt term to use for what our hair does. Now, you will notice that I'm talking specifically to ladies with horsey hair. I'm not interested in any way in anybody who has 4B or 4A who, you know, will look at a horsey hair person's video and say, oh, you're just not conditioning your hair properly. Or if you actually use this product, you know, it will blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, it's just because it's dry, you should put more water in it. If you understand what I'm saying, as a 4C hair owner, you know it's not about the water, it's not about the curling product, it's not about anything. You know that simply your hair coils. It's extremely kinky, and when it coils, when a circle coils around another circle, you get a tangle. It's just, that's what it does, it just tangles. It took me a few years, simply because I had a lot of cognitive dissonance, seeing what my hair does naturally, and just not being able to come to the conclusion that if it tangles naturally, maybe it just wants to lock and remain locked. I wasn't able to put those two thought processes together in my head, and when I finally did, it was a massive light bulb moment. There were issues that I will discuss later on, that led to me not actually then suddenly just going and locking my hair. And I understand these might be the same issues that you're going through, why you're not actually thinking about locking your hair, but we'll talk about that in another video. I just wanted to put this out there that if you're thinking about, you know, you're so frustrated with your 4C hair, and you've realized that none of these videos that these women are putting up and all the explanations on how to do 4C hair and how to make it curly and blah 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 is not actually working for you, I think an option that you should think about is to lock your hair. Locking your hair is an option for those girls, ladies, women who are currently have just come back from the beauty supply store with their pot of relaxers ready to slather it on. Just for 1 second, or maybe one day, think about locking your hair. There are so many options, so many ways to start, to continue, to maintain, and your hair will love you for it. Please, 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 before you decide to go to relaxers. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying that there is an option that isn't just either detangling for 7 hours every week or relaxer. There is a middle ground here that you should consider first. And if you've considered it and put it to the side because of X, Y, or Z, I want you to think about those options or reasons again, and think about actually why they are such you know, definitive reasons why you shouldn't actually lock your hair. I think a lot more thought needs to go into it. I think we need to give our hair, our natural hair, a chance to thrive in what I think is the healthiest and the most successful way that we can thrive. We can grow long hair, we can grow healthy hair, we can grow hair that is so beautiful, and a hair that just complements our features so well. If you haven't thought about it properly before, maybe you'll think about it now, and if you're reluctant, think about why, and maybe we can have a discussion about that. I will speak to you in the next video. This has been good. Bye.